Here's a follow-up for the Gibson Scout GA17 RVT, I believe. And it was in really bad shape. I'll just tell you a few things I did. First thing I did was replace the old 2-prong cord with a 3-prong. Ran the white to my fuse here. I ran the black over here to the on-off switch, and I ran my negative to the ground, and I cut down here. This was the death cap. It was running from here to ground. So cut that little guy. We had a catastrophic, or it had a catastrophic failure at some point, and this is the old cap here. It had multiple value leads coming off of it. So it was a 3-wire. The black was your common negative, and the 2 reds were corresponding to whatever values is going to say here on the old capacitor, the large one. So what I did was you had to cut this, so you just basically took a little Dremel wheel, cut that off. Ran, this is a Mojo tone here for one end of it. I left my leads long just in case something doesn't go the way I want it to before I get everything. I'm not confident enough to just get everything close and perfect right off the bat. I want to test things and see if I need to change things, and it's not that hard for me to get back in the amp and tidy things up. So right now everything's just a little ugly, just to make sure everything's working right. So I didn't have the proper value for this large capacitor here. So if you're in a pinch and you have a few different values, it's more expensive to do it this way, and you're going to spend more money on your parts that you got laying around. But I just I added these up here, and if you connect the positives and connect the negatives, you just do math and you just add them up until you get the right value. So in a pinch, if you've got multiple different capacitors, you can definitely do that. So that's what I did. We had another one of those big capacitors over here. Cut the harness, and I used some silicone down here to put both of these to the chassis, so that way they don't go wallering around. It's a good word. So over here, I got some help online from the Guitologist. He's awesome. He actually just worked on one of my amps, and that I was not, it was a Charlie Christian amp, and I was not brave enough to tackle that. It's a really historic amp. So I was very grateful that he worked on that. And I was also really grateful that he made a video about some of these old Scouts. He did about 8 or 10 years ago, he made some. But I was watching one, and he said that these old Sprague capacitors here, they're like the tone sucking unit, he called it. So the 2 is going to be to ground always, he said, and 1 and 3 doesn't really matter where they go. And so this yellow right here was the ground. I just snipped it, and then the 1 was going right into here. Okay, and then that comes over to this lead right here on your volume pot. So that's the volume pot. The other one, it did go over, I think, over here, possibly. No, it went to this one. Yeah, went to this one. So, because I snipped that. So what he did was, and then from this one up to here, there was a smaller capacitor. That's what it was. So it was kind of after the fact. It was a smaller capacitor. It was like a 0.001. This little guy here, this little orange drop. So he got rid of the orange drop. He got rid of this unit here. He called it the tone sucking unit, tone sucking circuit. It made the amp sound a little more ice picky. And so he replaced it with a 0.047 capacitor. And so that's what I did. I put it here, and then it goes to this right here, this number 6 pin. I think it's number 6 pin. But anyway, it goes to that one. So that's what I did, and sure enough, it definitely took off some of the edge. And something else that he did that I don't have the right value capacitor for is this. He replaced this with a 10 microfarad capacitor, and to get a little more bass as well to come out. I don't have that value, so I'm going to do that at some point. But after I did these modifications, or not even modification, well, this was a modification, but after I did what I did, actually the amp started working and sounding pretty good. I can't get the reverb to work quite yet, so I got to figure that out. This is the old speaker. This is ridiculous. Somebody decided to try to fix all these tears with some masking tape, so like packing tape. So yeah, whoever did that got a little desperate, and they somehow was able to get that tape under the basket. So they were really hoping that would work well. Unfortunately, most of the tape came off, and it doesn't work that well. So anyway, I don't know what to do with this old. This is not an original. This is a 12-inch Gibson C12R. And originally the amp had a 10-inch speaker in it. So right now I've got it wired up to an extra 12-inch speaker here just to test it and make sure everything's gonna work out all right. And so far it sounded pretty good. It's missing, it's supposed to have a back plate here. It's supposed to have a back plate that goes over the top of all this, and that is missing, unfortunately. So I think if I got a little ambitious, I could probably buy some sheet metal, and I could probably cut it and bend it the way it's supposed to be and replace it. So I might do that at some point. Other than that, I've got to clean up the amp and make it look a lot better than what it was. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like this sort of thing, then hit a subscribe, and stay tuned. I'm gonna probably do some sound samples at some point and get the amp to where you can hear it and see what it sounds like. Thanks for tuning in.